Let's say we have e. Okay. Let's say we have e to the power x plus y, which equal to x multiplied by y plus x squared. Okay. So how would we solve this equation implicit? So implicit, it says we must differentiate both sides, left hand side, right hand side. So we can start with the left hand side where we have e to the power x plus y. So looking at it, we can use chain rule to differentiate it because we have x and y together. So let's start driving it considering x. Okay, let's say 4x. We're driving x with respect to x, but then we know good when we drive e to the power any number, it doesn't change, or e to the power variables stay the same. So this means we'll still have e to the power x plus y and then multiply by. Therefore, now we drive the powers. But because we are considering x, we must take y as a constant, which means the derivative of x with respect to x becomes y. Okay? Therefore, we go to y. We know the derivative of e to the power doesn't change. Therefore, we'll still have e to the power x plus y. Multiply y. The derivative of y with respect to x. Therefore, it becomes 1. But because we are deriving implicit, we have to multiply with dy over dx, which will be equal to. Therefore, we go to the left hand side. And then the left hand side, we must derive x multiplied by y. Still the same thing. Chain rule, you have x multiplied by y. So let's start with deriving x, considering x with respect to x. Therefore, driving x with respect to x, it becomes what? 1. But then because there is y, we are left with y. It will be y. Plus, and then now we derive y with respect to x. It becomes what? 1 dy d over dx. dy over dx. But because our x is a constant, it's left there. Okay? And then now we go to the third one. Okay, the third one is x squared. So how do we derive x squared? Okay, deriving x squared is just using power rule, where we can say that this will be 2x. Okay, let's fix this. So this will be 2x. Okay, now we go to the first step, to the second step. That's where we group the items. So now we have to group the numbers that have dy dx, which are these ones. These ones, they have dy dx. Okay, let's start with them. We have e to the power x plus y dy over dx. And then we take this to the other side. We have negative x dy over dx. Okay, which will be equal to. Now we have to take this, group the numbers without r dy over dx. This one, also these two. Okay, so now we have 1, this side we have 1, this is equal sign. We have 1 plus 2x minus e to the power x plus y. It's to the power x plus y. E to the power x plus y. Okay, so now we have to factor out dy dx. So we can say dy over dx will be e to the power x plus y minus x, which will be equal to the same thing this side, y plus 2x minus e to the power x plus y. Okay. So the left step now is to take this number, we take it to this side. Okay. So we'll have dy over dx will be equal to, and we have to take these ones, this one, which will be plus 2x, okay, minus e to the power x plus 1, divided by this side, e to the power x will be e to the power x plus 1 minus x minus x. The second question is say we have 4 cos of x sine of y. It's equal to 1 cos of x. Okay. So how can we derive it? Implicit. So still the same thing. Chain rule, it applies everywhere, or most of the times we're using chain rule. So we can start by deriving uh, the side of x with respect to x. We can derive cos x. We can start with cos x with respect to x. So if we derive cos x with respect to x, take sine y as a constant. So this means the derivative of cos x, it will be negative sine y. So we'll have negative 4 sine, not sine of y, sine of x, sine of x, and then the constant, or constant which is sine of y. Yeah? And then now we're deriving the side of y with respect to x. We're deriving y with respect to x, this side. Okay, so we have to add, and then when we derive this one, sine of y with respect to x, 4 cos x becomes a constant. So this means we can say 4 cos of x multiplied by the derivative of sine y, which is cos y. But because we're deriving y, we have to multiply with dy over dx, dy over dx, and all this is equal to 1. So the derivative of 1 becomes 0. So now we have to group the like terms. Okay, we can say 4 cos of x cos of y dy dx is equal to 4 sine of y. And then now we factor out dy over dx. Or we divide by 4 cos x cos y both sides. So we'll be left with dy over dx. It's equal to this side is 4 sine x sine y over 4 cos x cos y. And then now how can we simplify it? We know we can cancel 4 and 4. That's how can we simplify it. And then we also know the relationship that sine over cos is equal to tan. And then we have sine on the top, we have cos below, which means this will be equal to tan of x multiplied by tan of y. Okay, that is your final answer. Final answer will be tan of x multiplied by tan of y. Let's take y. squared into y squared minus 4 is equal to x squared into x squared minus 5. Okay, so we have to derive it implicit. Before deriving it, to make it simpler, we can simplify the whole equation. So we can multiply uh, inside the brackets. So this side we'll have y to the fourth minus 4y squared. Multiply y squared into the inside the bracket. So we say y squared multiply by y squared, we get y to the 4. Then y squared multiply by negative 4, we get negative 4y squared. Equal to, also do the same thing, multiply inside x to the 4th minus 5x squared. Okay, that's what it is. Then now we can do our implicit differentiation. So we have to derive both sides. And then we see this is general power rule. So we can power rule, it says we take the power, multiply into the front of y, and then we take the power, we subtract y. So we can say 4y to the cubed. But because we're doing implicit diff on a y, we also multiply with dy over dx. And then we go to the next one, minus 4y squared. How to drive it? Power rule. 2 multiplied by 4, which will be 8y. Okay, but because it's implicit diff of y, must multiply with dy over dx. It's equal to, we do general power rule on x to the 4th, which will be 4x to the 3rd. And then general power rule to 5x squared, this will be minus 10x. Okay, now we must factor out dy over dx. So we can say dy over dx will be inside the brackets 4y to the cube minus 8y. It's equal to 4x to the cube minus 10x. Therefore, now we just take 4y cubed minus 8y to the other side. We can say dy over dx it's equal to 4x cubed minus 10. 4x cubed minus 10x over 4y cubed minus 8y. 4y cubed minus 8y. Okay. So how can we simplify that? We can say equal 4, 10, 4, 8, they're all powers, they are all can be multiplied by 2. They're all multiplications of 2. So we can take out 2 on all of them. So we can say this is equal to 2 into, we are left with 2x to the cube minus 5, minus 5x, because 2 times 2 it will become 4, 2 times 5 it becomes 10, over, take out 2, also left with 2y to the cube minus 4y, because 2 times 2 it's 4, 2 times 4 it's 8. Okay, and then now we cancel the 2. So our final answer will be dy over dx is equal to 2x to the cube minus 5x over 2y to the cube minus 4y. Thank you.